Should you invest in stocks or Bitcoin? That is what I will be answering in today's video, because recently Bitcoin has skyrocketed. And not even recently, in 2020, Bitcoin was officially the best performing asset. And I use the word asset quite loosely there. I'll tell you why in a second. But first, this is what one Bitcoin is worth right now, okay? $39,000, at least at the time that I'm recording this on the 14th of January 2021. And that's crazy because I still remember back in 2017 when Bitcoin went up, everyone was buying it, and then it crashed spectacularly. It was a very clear bubble back then, but you might be wondering right now, is it still a bubble? Is it a good investment? Should I invest in Bitcoin, or perhaps should I just continue investing in stocks? All of that and much more, including what I'm doing personally with my own strategy, whether I'm buying Bitcoin or not, will be at the end of the video. But without further ado, let's begin with the video. Hello, my name is Ricardo Torres and I am mostly a dividend investor. That's what this channel is all about: dividend growth investing, or investing in stocks that pay and grow their dividends. So if you're interested in that and all sorts of personal finance topics, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Give this video a like as well, because it really does help tremendously to let more people see my videos. But anyway, today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I've not talked about Bitcoin before on my channel, so you might be wondering what my thoughts are on this. But before I do that, let me just show you the incredible gains that Bitcoin has experienced, okay? So like I said, right now it's $39,000 more or less. 1 year ago to the day, it was 8,822. Let's see if that focuses, right? You can see that. That is a 442% increase. By the way, this calculator got me through school, got me through engineering university, and I still use it, okay? Casio is amazing. But anyway, you might be looking at that and that incredible increase in price that Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as well have experienced, and you might be thinking, should I buy that? Should I invest in Bitcoin, or should I invest in stocks? Okay, stocks or Bitcoin, what is the best asset out there? And here is where my view comes in, okay? Let me tell you what I think about Bitcoin, because I look at assets as that, something that can put money in your pocket, right? So it's something that you can own, that it retains value and then it grows. And it sometimes pays you some cash flow, right? So in the case of a stock, you might own shares in IBM or Apple or Johnson & Johnson, right? I love all of those companies. They will pay you a dividend. Every 3 months, they're gonna pay you a dividend. That is cash flow that gets put in your pocket, plus the price of that stock over the long run, if it's a good company, and those three companies really are great companies, that's going to increase as well, okay? So in the very long run, you're going to make your money multiply many times over. But when it comes to Bitcoin, is it really an asset? I don't think it is. It doesn't produce anything and it doesn't give you cash flow. Stocks, on the other hand, are backed by businesses, right? A stock represents a business that you can trade, you can buy, you can sell, you can earn your dividends, right? And that should grow over time if you've picked a good company. But a company does have assets. It does produce something, whether that's a service or a product, right? They have delivery trucks, they have buildings, they have perhaps intellectual property. All of that stuff has got a value and it's tangible, right? You can actually calculate how much value a business has. Plus, it's also going to give you cash flow. Even if it doesn't pay dividends, the company actually generates revenue. It generates money because it produces something. And those earnings are going to be reflected in the stock price of that company. But again, Bitcoin doesn't do any of that. Now wait, before you dislike this video and leave a really mean comment, because I know those are coming, just give me a second to justify why I think that, okay? It's not just me saying that. I'm just gonna show you a clip that shows what Warren Buffett thinks about Bitcoin.
What is it about Bitcoin that gets you guys so fired up?
Well, when you buy a farm, you look at the crop every year and what prices are, and you decide whether it was a satisfactory investment. I mean, you look to the asset itself and what it produces for you. When we buy a business, we look at what the business earns and decide how we feel about it in terms of what we paid. But we are buying something that at the end of the period, we not only have what we bought in the first place, but we have something that the asset produced. And when you buy non-productive assets, all you're counting on is whether the next person is going to pay you more because they're even more excited about another next person coming along. But the asset itself is creating nothing.
So just to echo what Warren Buffett has just said, investing in Bitcoin, I don't even really think it's investing because it's actually speculation. The only reason you're going to own Bitcoin, and at least I think that's the case for 99% of people. I'm sorry if that's not your case, but for most people, it is speculation. That means that the only reason those people, or the majority of people, own Bitcoin is because they hope to sell it to someone else for a higher price. That is the only reason they have Bitcoin. There's no real inherent value. Nobody can really calculate the value of a Bitcoin. Some people can make estimates and they can say it's going to go to $1 million by 2025 or whatever, and it might. Perhaps it will, okay? I'm not saying it won't, but it's not really a long-term strategy that's going to make you money consistently and really compound your money over time like stocks are, or even real estate, because real estate, again, there's something tangible there. You can calculate the value of it, and if you buy a property to rent it out, that also gives you cash flow, both of which Bitcoin doesn't actually do. Now, if you don't think that Bitcoin is speculation, if you think that you're gonna own Bitcoin for a very, very long time, ask yourself this question. This is a little litmus test that I think comes from Warren Buffett as well, and I always think about that before I even consider investing in a stock or any other asset. And that is, if the market or the stock market or the Bitcoin market closed for 10 years tomorrow, would you be okay owning that asset? Would you really be okay with all the fluctuations and all the changes in regulations and everything that might happen in 10 years? Governments might actually ban Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, or perhaps make their own cryptocurrencies that will be regulated by governments. And then, what happens to your Bitcoin then, right? 10 years is a very long time. Now, on the other side, when you invest in a stock, let's say Coca-Cola Company, for example, another one of my portfolio, I know that in 10 years time, Coca-Cola will still be there. People will not stop drinking Fanta or Sprite. That is always going to be there. I'm pretty sure that the company will actually keep growing, becoming more efficient and making my money grow over time. And also pay me dividends, right? That really, really nice cash flow that is actually the reason, or one of the main reasons why I invest. You're not really getting any of that with Bitcoin, and I'm pretty sure most of you watching this video, even if you think you wouldn't be okay with living your Bitcoin there for 10 years. If you are enjoying this video, by the way, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you don't like it or you don't agree with my comments on Bitcoin, give it a thumbs down. That is also good for my channel. And also it tells me what kind of content I should be creating. And let me know also in the comments whether you've invested in Bitcoin or you're considering it, or you actually prefer stocks, or a mixture of both. I'm gonna tell you what I am personally doing at the end of this video. Now is also a good time to make a distinction. When I talk about investing in Bitcoin, I'm ignoring blockchain. Blockchain as a technology, I think is actually very exciting. I think blockchain is going to be adopted by pretty much the entire world. But when you invest in Bitcoin, you're not really investing in blockchain. You can actually buy stocks that will give you more exposure to blockchain and to the development of that technology. But again, you're gonna do that via stocks. Investing in Bitcoin is not really investing in blockchain. I just wanted to make that distinction right there because I'm not talking about blockchain. I'm talking specifically about Bitcoin or Ethereum or other cryptocurrencies. Now let me make one last point about my problems with Bitcoin and pretty much the main problem that I see with investing in Bitcoin. And that is the psychology of investing like that and speculating. That is not really investing, not just because of the, what I've mentioned before about assets and cash flow, but the problem I have with that is that it is a little bit like playing the lottery. Not because it's just chance in it or anything, you might have actually made a lot of money buying Bitcoin, and that's great for you. However, how does that really train you in the skills and the mental fortitude that you need to stay consistent and stay patient long enough to have compound interest make you really wealthy? And I don't mean, doubling or tripling your money. I mean, times 20, times 30 times your investment. That's what happens with the stock market over many, many, many decades, right? The answer is that I don't think so. I don't think that, investing $1,000 now and it's now worth $3,000 is really going to teach you that much about what you need to be successful with investing. And you might be thinking that there are a lot of people that have become millionaires with Bitcoin, okay? There definitely are. Some of my friends have made a lot of money with Bitcoin, and that's great, but unless they then really develop their investing skills and reinvest that money into real assets and not just the next hot thing, right? That's not really going to get you to real wealth. Real wealth meaning the state that you need to be in to have real freedom in your life, freedom to choose how you spend your days and not have to be worried about money pretty much ever again. I don't think you're gonna get that by investing in Bitcoin. I see it more as people that win the lottery, through, well, sheer luck, let's be honest. But those people don't tend to stay rich. They don't stay wealthy because they don't know how to manage money. They don't know how to manage the psychology. So they just blow all that money away. And I feel like all these people that have made all this money with Bitcoin are perhaps going to follow in a similar, way. Maybe not as bad as lottery winners, okay? Because lottery winners didn't really have to invest a large part of their money, but it's something similar. At least that is my opinion. I might be completely wrong. Let me know in the comments below if you think I am wrong. But I do think that the problem with Bitcoin not really being an asset that produces something and that actually gives you money, it gives you cash flow, right? Because it produces something important for society. None of that I don't think is there. Okay, one last point, I just remembered this. Another argument that I've heard a lot of times is that Bitcoin is like digital gold, okay? People see gold and they think, wow, that's a great asset, that's a great investment. But actually gold, historically, if we really, really go back, gold's returns on investment are actually really, really poor.
If you had bought gold in 1942 and you say, we might lose the war and we might have to run off to some other country and, so let's put our assets in gold, you would have less than a penny for every dollar you got from owning stocks. Less than a penny. Now, if somebody calls that a store of value, I think they're delusionary.
And yet with Bitcoin, I do understand the argument that it's sort of like a store of value, just like gold is, but that is not what you should be doing. You shouldn't be investing in gold if you want to really grow your money consistently and exponentially over a long period of time, because that is how pretty much every person in the world that has some sort of disposable income can grow their wealth. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, you can grow your wealth. If you are able to save and if you're able to invest in good companies, in stocks, or perhaps index funds, right? That's a really good way that beginners can start investing. Do that consistently over many decades. That is how you grow wealth. I don't think real wealth is made by, buying something that's really hot right now, like Tesla stock or Bitcoin, both of which, by the way, are extremely expensive right now. At least, Tesla, you can measure how much it's worth because it's a company. It's extremely expensive. Okay, that's a topic for another day. Otherwise, I'm gonna get a lot of angry comments on this video. But Bitcoin is also extremely expensive based on where it's at. And let's be honest, this is another bubble, just like in 2017, that is going to pop at some point. Bitcoin cannot keep going up at this rate for a very long time. So finally, we're at the end of the video. You probably know what I'm gonna say. I don't invest in Bitcoin. I don't invest in cryptocurrency for the reasons that I've just outlined. I don't like that it's not an asset. I don't like the fact that I would have to keep worrying about it because it's got crazy volatility. It can go down by 20% in one day. You're not really gonna get that with stocks. And pretty much every stock that I own in my personal portfolio that's gonna make me very wealthy in the future, I hope so, but I'm pretty sure it will because that's just the way the stock market works. If you buy good, solid companies, I can just be calm with that. I can let that do its job. And yeah, I would actually be very comfortable leaving all of that for 10 years, not even looking at it once, and then coming back because I know that those companies are not really going anywhere. And even if I was really unlucky and some of my, 1 or 2 or 3 even of the stocks that I own in my portfolio went bust, I had to file for bankruptcy or were delisted and I lost every single penny that I invested in those stocks, the other many more stocks would make up for that many times over. So that's the reason why I really think that if you are serious about building wealth and doing it the proper way, getting rich slowly, because that's how you actually get rich and wealthy, not quickly, definitely not quickly, then I would personally stay away from Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, at least for now. Maybe something will change in the future, and perhaps I'm completely wrong about all this, okay? But I don't think I am, because of, well, the reasons I've explained. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. And again, if I've helped you in any way to perhaps decide whether Bitcoin might be a good option for you, or to just stick with stocks, make sure to give this video a like, and make sure to subscribe to the Escaping to Freedom YouTube channel for more weekly videos like this one that you've just watched. And I know I always say weekly. I've not posted a video in a few months because I just took a break and I was really busy coding my app, Dividend Compass. More on that in the future. But yeah, guys, that is it from me for now. I really hope you go out there and you learn how to invest in stocks. And for most people, I would stay away from Bitcoin, personally. That's just my opinion, all right? Anyway, guys, I will see you in the next video. Take care.